Hey, good morning, Cellercise families. Good to be here with you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing it with your family and friends. If you know anybody that has weight loss issues, we're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight. Knee problems, hip problems, back problems, shoulder problems, digestion, elimination issues, stress disorders, immune system needs. You know, we want to encourage you to invite them to be part of the program. Cellercise is fun, it's easy, it's efficient, it's economical, it's safe, and it's portable. It can be done in just 10 minutes a day, although you can do it longer if you want. With Cellercise, we don't need to work out. We can play in. Are they able to see this already here?
Yep.
I just want to make sure. Okay,
Oh
great.
yeah, they're watching.
All right. Cellercise. It's not weight lifting, it's weight bearing. For those who don't understand, the weight bearing activity is on all of your muscles all at the same time. Muscles, ligaments, tendons, bones, skin, the fascia. It's circulation pumping as we move up and down on a Cellerciser. We're opening up one-way valves. We're helping to backflush valves. We're opening up the lymphatic system. We're increasing oxygen blood flow to the brain. We're creating G forces through the movement up and down, which is what helps to really target the entire body collectively as a whole. And when you're dealing with the body collectively as a whole, you have strength, balance, and abilities that the average person doesn't have. That's why we do the strength and balance test. If you know anybody who's in the police department, fire department, military, who's an athletic trainer, we want to encourage you to let them know about this. Chiropractors, doctors, MDs. I'm more than happy to share with them what we've been doing over the last 30 years and some of the benefits that so many people have been getting. Tonight we're going to be talking about some of the different customer reviews that have come out this last week. And I mentioned a few weeks ago about Melody. And I want to talk a little bit about Melody's story because, and that one right, that picture.
It's the same one as that.
I know, I want to show the picture. Okay.
Oh, let's pull that up.
There you go. Thank you, Christine. Melody, you're one of our heroes. You're really making a difference. And I want to thank you and your family for being willing to allow me to share your story, which I started to a few weeks ago and then stopped because I hadn't had any communication with Melody's mother at the time, but I have since, and Melody Mom has encouraged me, Jennifer has encouraged me to go ahead and share the story about Melody. She's got a website as well. I'm going to see if you can find her website because I'd like to share it so that she knows of our support for her. But I get a text message or an actual email from Melody's therapist. And Melody's therapist is telling me more about Melody's condition and situation and how absolutely amazing it is for somebody who has trisomy 18 to be able to stand up and hold on to a balance bar on a Cellerciser, which she says doesn't happen. And because of Melody's progress and the excitement of her occupational therapist, she's now working with the Cellerciser on many more children that she works with as well. And she's going to be communicating more with us, letting us know Melody's progress and the progress of some of the other people that she's had a chance to work with. So we're going to read some customer reviews. And I want you to know you're making a difference in the lives of so many people. And I've got that other one that Jenna sent me. I want to grab that one too.
Let me see if I can find it.
It just came in.
I'll go look for it. Go ahead with this.
Okay, it might be on my desk. Okay. Thanks so much. All right, this is from Pat. Pat says, I want to say I think Cellercising has fixed my right hip. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. I started hurting last fall so much I was nearly in tears. Had an awful time sleeping because of it. But I've noticed that since I got my Cellerciser in late April, happy birthday to me, I'm not having pain, exclamation point. I'll say this, the pain wasn't as bad as it was last fall, but I was still having pain when I went to bed most nights. Now, I'm not. Thanks, Dave. By the way, I see an excellent chiropractor every 7 weeks and have for the past 16 and a half years. He knows the benefits of rebounding, and I went to another natural health doctor Saturday. He said, I have improved greatly across the board and don't even need to come back to see him for 2 months this time. It's been monthly for checkups since my mastectomy in November. That doctor, too, recommends rebounding. He inherited a chair-style rebounder from his chiropractor dad when his dad died. And that's the sit and bounce. And for those people who don't have the ability to stand, that can also be helpful. But thank you, Pat. And yes, people with hip problems, knee problems, shoulder problems are regularly letting me know how those problems have disappeared. I've been through all of that too. And the movement up and down massages the tissue, increases circulation, and then by doing additional movements, we strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments that around the joint so we can retain more fluid. And it's very common, and thank you for sharing that with us. Lucy D. Thank you, Lucy. Just a little over 3 weeks, and I can tell you, I can do things for longer. Example, when I would wash the floors, I used to have to stop partway through and rest. Now I got straight through. Keep in mind that the whole house is flooring, no carpet. House is about 1,800 square feet. That's a lot of flooring. I also seem to get more tasks done. Where before I would just ignore it, but now I get it done with no breaks. Loving this. My Cellercising is getting better as well. Trying to go without the balance bar. Still rely on it a lot for getting there. Just wanted to share my progress. And I'm glad Lucy brought that out. The balance bar initially could be considered exactly that, a balance bar. It helps give you more confidence so that you're not worrying about falling off. You can put more effort into your routine and you get faster results. But after you become more confident and after your balance has improved dramatically, because Cellerciser does that, then the balance bar becomes a performance bar. It then becomes a tool that you can use so that you can create more leverage without worrying about falling off. So by holding on to the bar, I can tilt more. And when you tilt, your muscles tighten. And as you move up and down in those altered positions, you're leveraging the weight more to specific muscle areas of the body, even though the entire body collectively is still involved. So thank you for bringing that up. Mr. Dave Hall, this is from Angelia. I want to thank you for the Cellerciser. I have come so far in almost 6 months, and hard to believe that I'm sticking with it daily. Best product in the world. Now, to get my family healthy is the hard part. I'm working on them, so cross your fingers. You and Christine have become my best new friends. God bless you. And thank you, Angelia. And Mia writes, I bought my Cellerciser at least 20 years ago when he was at the Whole Life Expo in Cleveland. He was honest, kind, and passionate about his product and the benefits of it. He looks as fit as he did back then. You will not regret investing in yourself with this purchase. God bless you all. Thank you, Mia. That's special. Did you find that one?
I didn't see it anywhere.
No?
So,
Really?
No.
Okay. Well, I want to read it. So that's not it. And it's right here. It's on my board. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right. I thought this one was special, too. A friend who does blood microscopy, microscopic pics of the blood and analysis, said I should get a trampoline and do it to help my lymphatic system because I've been dealing with a body rash due to mercury silver filling amalgams. So I got an inexpensive mini tramp. Now I was hooked, so I decided to learn more. In the process, I saw David Hall's videos and was very impressed. I really appreciate that he supports what he says with scientific data. So after using a basically $40 mini tramp, my next trampoline purchase has been a Cellerciser. I love it. I do it almost every day. Using it has speeded up my healing process in an unmeasurable way, and I'm beyond amazed at the improvement. The Cellerciser has been an extremely important factor in my healing. I'm a 68-year-old female who is thin, but my exercise has been severely limited due to the body rash. Not now. Since I've started using my mini tramp, it has been so much better. And by the way, I am an adapted PE, physical educational teacher for students with mental and physical challenges. I predominantly work with severely handicapped students. I have wonderful aides that assist me in my classes. One who has big time problems with her health is now beginning to use a mini trampoline because I take one to work. She feels so much better, and she now has her own mini tramp at home. Thank you for spreading the joy. I love how this exercise item makes moving fun and yet helps the entire body to feel so much better. I am now sharing this information with lots of people because, if nothing else, it just helps them to feel much better, even just a little bit at a time. So kudos to you guys. Your tramp is exceptional, and I don't just say that, I mean it. And this is a really great thing to share. Doing the arm exercises, the isometric ones, is by far the fastest way to make underarm dingle-dangle go away. Using the Cellerciser while doing the arm exercises has totally fixed under the dingle-dangle, and it was seriously done really quick. I love my Cellerciser. I can't say it enough. I love my Cellerciser. It totally works, no kidding, Jenna, or Jeanette. Thank you. Thank you, Jeanette. All right.
Okay,
we're going to do questions, and then we're going to do together, for those who have your Cellerciser, I'm going to take you through some of the arm exercises so that we can experience just how effective this can be on the arms.
So this would be a good time to get them out if you haven't gotten them
Yes,
out,
if
right?
you don't have your Cellerciser out, get your Cellerciser out.
Okay.
We'll do this together.
So we're going to ask these questions. There's about 7 or 8, and I'm going to combine 2 together. So I'll read them separately, but
Okay.
they go
Okay.
together.
Okay.
Would simply health bouncing with low jumping for 40 to 60 minutes to music without specific fancy moves contribute to weight loss if done consistently? That goes on top of this one. I know Dave talks about 10 minutes and increasing intensity to benefit weight loss and muscle gain. But sometimes I want to crock pop myself rather than instant pop my workout and go slow. Does moderate jumping or bouncing for 20 to 30 minutes have any different advantages or benefits? I am doing Dave's routine suggestions, but sometimes I want to autopilot in front of the TV for a while and just jog lightly. I suspect I need to ask this question in a live session, but maybe some of you know and can help me out. And so some people have talked, they were wanting the same answer. So.
Good. Let's talk about it. The intensity operates a little differently than doing it for a longer period of time. Intensity is going to increase metabolic processes faster. It's going to create more of an immune system response initially. It is going to challenge the body in ways that a longer sustained period isn't. It'll eat through the glucose and the sugars faster, especially if you do repetitions of intense exercises, which is then going to be going more after weight loss. Now, all that being said, Cellercising for a longer period of time is going to help open up circulatory channels. It's going to work at backflushing valves, challenging balance and equilibrium very effectively, the proprioception in the body. It's going to constantly be activating more immune system response from the perspective that it's not going to increase necessarily more active white blood cells, but it's going to take the lymphatic system that you have and it's going to activate it more efficiently because the one-way valves are going to be opening and shutting the entire time that you're moving up and down. Great way to detox where it's not as intense, but a longer period of time. You're helping to move fluid constantly through the body while the lymphatic system is moving and pumping and circulating, opening up blood vessels, oxygen, blood flow to all tissue spaces of the body. So in a nutshell, it's phenomenal. It's great. And yes, I do that occasionally too. I'll turn on a television program and I'll just jog and bounce and jump around and have fun. And remember, you're playing on the Cellerciser, but it is most definitely working on you. And depending on what you're doing on it, you're going to be working muscle groups. You're going to be challenging the mitochondria in the cells anyway for more energy, and you're doing it for a longer sustained period of time. So body parts and functions are going to be stimulated more in a longer period of time, whereas in a shorter period of time, that has its benefits also, but it's much more intense. I do my 10 minutes a day in the morning before I go to work because I don't have time to do it for a longer period of time, and I know my entire body is getting a benefit from that, and it's a wake-up call anyway. But if you have time and you can do it for a longer sustained period of time, by all means. And yes, you will burn calories as you do it a longer sustained period of time as well. It just takes a little longer to get through the glucose and the sugars, but have fun, enjoy it. It does absolutely work on you, and you'll receive lots of benefits, bones and joints and tissue space, as you constantly move that fluid through the body.
Okay. When I do an intense workout on my Cellerciser sometimes at night, I will get muscle cramps in my calves. Should I stretch afterwards, and what do you recommend?
I'm not prescribing medicine here, but often it's nutritional based. It can be potassium, magnesium, or lack of water, electrolytes. Those issues I would tell anybody who's Cellercising and they're cramping up, drink water. Make sure you're drinking enough good water, because those are the same kind of concerns that a person might have on a treadmill, or if they go out and do long distance running as well. So making sure you're getting good fluids in the body should help mitigate that. It's not as common to have muscle cramping, especially on the Cellerciser. So if it is, it could be a weakness in the area, poor circulation, and the Cellerciser over time helps to promote better circulation and strength in those areas of the body.
All right. My 80-year-old aunt has a frozen arm after being in a sling for many weeks. What specific routines can she do to help make it up again?
Okay, she's in a sling. Chances are it's like this. It's more than likely her shoulder area, could be the elbow, but there's a movement that I teach, and she can consult with her doctor or physical therapist on this. But the movement is to take the arm, and you can help support it with your other hand initially. Gently move up and down. Allow the movement up and down to cause the tissue to gently expand and contract. You can feel it, especially if you grab your shoulders. And that's massaging, as it's opening up circulatory channels and massaging the tissue in those areas. You can gently move the elbow up, supporting it if you need to, or just putting your hand on the back of your shoulder blade and bounce up and down with your elbow up and then out to the side. And these movements will start to open up that area. If it's in the elbow, honestly, just jogging and moving is going to do it, but usually it's going to be more in the shoulder area. And those movements are demonstrated on Cellercise, the Ultimate Exercise, in that DVD also.
Okay. I have lymphedema in both legs. Will this help? I need a gentle exercise.
And that's one of the advantages of Cellercise. It's gentle. Standing on the Cellerciser and just bending at the knee, moving up and down, activates the one-way valves in the lymphatic system. And as I've mentioned before, the weakest area of circulation in the body is going to be in the lower extremities because it's the furthest area from the heart. So anything we can do to help pump more circulation, which is exactly what this is doing, makes it easier on the heart and makes it easier to move that fluid through those one-way valves back up toward the heart. We often think of a senior citizen stereotyped as somebody sitting in front of the porch in a rocking chair. They're pumping with their legs, so they have good use of their legs. That movement is important, and there's nothing better, in my opinion, to do that than Cellercise. As you lift the heels up and down, you also work the calf muscle. And the calf muscle has been called a second heart. So as we're moving up and down, lifting the heels up and down, we're making it easier for the body to move that circulation in the lower extremities back up toward the heart.
All right. How do I know when I've cleaned out my lymph nodes? I've been jumping for 2 months now.
All right. I don't know if we ever completely clear out the lymph nodes. The job of the lymph nodes is it's to collect the garbage, metabolic waste, and viruses, germs, bacteria, fungus, dead cells, mutant cells, all these different foreign invaders, and they get sucked in the lymph system into the lymph nodes where they're broken apart, and then the body can actually utilize some of them again as they move up through the lymph system and back in the bloodstream and out of the body. So the moving up and down on the Cellerciser is you're always going to be pumping lymph. That's what we want to do, because we're always going to be exposed every single day to chemicals and various different issues. Now, that being said, if you have blockages in the lymphatic system, think in terms of water hitting against a dam. If you keep hitting the dam over and over and over, pretty soon you break through the dam. So that may vary with very different people, but the movement that I taught, where you breathe in and out and pump your arms up and down, that's a good one for really creating more lymph pump and increased oxygen in the bloodstream. And that, you remember that's this movement here. It's which opens up the larynx and the bronchial tubes as well. But that pumping of the arms up and down activates the lymph system, as well as the movement up and down on the Cellerciser.
Okay. Under health benefits, number 126 says to quit smoking.
Oh.
Nothing opens up, but was wondering how this helps to quit smoking. I'm confused how the Cellerciser is going to help me quit smoking, and once I quit, how does it help me repair the body?
Well, the Cellerciser can help you repair body. In fact, the lungs have a great capacity to be self-healing, to help heal them. And that movement that I was just doing a moment ago helps to clear out the lungs and the bronchial tubes. But you don't want to keep smoking while you're doing it, because then all you're doing is irritating the tissue, and that's not a good idea. But when you're ready to stop smoking and you want to start clearing those toxins and poisons out, the Cellerciser can help do that. But there's a mental part of this too. There's an addictive part of it and a mental part of it. We want to replace the addiction with something that's healthy, that we can become addicted to, whether it's drinking lots of water to begin with, or the electrolytes, putting some lemon in it, that drinking that water to help flush out toxins and poisons. And then there's a mental part of it. And the mental part of it is we tell ourselves over and over, because we have an incredible capacity, our minds have an incredible capacity to influence our body. We tell ourselves, whether we believe it or not initially, that every day in every way I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way I'm feeling better and better. I hate smoking. I can't stand the smell of it. I can't stand the look of it. I can't stand being around people that do it. I have to hold my breath. I have to get away from it. You have to. It's not tricking your mind. It's teaching your mind. Now, I did this. I guess some people think this is un-American, but when I grew up, I used to eat a lot of peanut butter finger chips, and I'd freeze them and then eat them in Reese's peanut butter cups and chocolate. And when I was 21, I'd had enough chocolate, and I said to myself, I started doing the same thing that I'm sharing with you. Is I started saying, I don't like chocolate. I can't stand chocolate. I don't want to be around chocolate. I know that's un-American to a lot of you, but it's also the power of the mind. And it got to the point where I would walk past the See's candy store or Whitmore's, and I'd hold my breath, because I just it would make me nauseous. And I would tell myself this over and over and over. So I'll be 63 in October. I haven't had any chocolate for over 42 years. That's a long time. To me, it's an accomplishment. It's fun to know that I have control and that you can do the same thing. So there's a mental part of it. And the mental part of it, you see yourself. What happens when you see a cigarette? Now you get nauseous. You feel awful. You don't like it. You say that to yourself. You visualize it. You proclaim it. You declare it. You say it out loud. And you do it while you're on the Cellerciser, so it has a stronger impression on the brain. And you can literally, and we've seen it happen time and time again, you can literally change your appetites, how you respond. Remember, ideas affect the way we think. The way we think affects the way we act. The way we act to a larger degree determines our results. If we want to take charge of our results, we have to be willing to take charge of the ideas that we are allowing ourselves to be exposed to on a day-to-day basis. Because if we don't, then by default, our habits, our environment, the conditions, influences, they take charge of us. And most people, as a result of that, live in a reactive mode, constantly allowing the conditions around them to govern the conditions within them. Take charge. If you are losing weight, hey, every day and every way I'm feeling better and better. If you know the thieves that are robbing you of being able to reach your objectives, identify the thieves and say, I don't like these thieves. I don't like this anymore. Doesn't matter whether you do or don't. It takes some time to plant the seeds. If you are feeling overweight and it's bothering you, number one, don't let it bother you, because you don't want to fight against that which is wrong. We talked about that in the previous program. You want to promote that which is right. So you see yourself, I am feeling better and better every day. Every time I get on the Cellerciser, I feel better. I can't wait till the next time I'm on my Cellerciser. I love the food that I'm eating and the food that I'm learning to crave more and more. And name them. Name some foods that you like. I love the routines that I'm doing. I love who I am. I feel good about myself. And when you do, and you do that, and you start to feel more and better about yourself, it's not that the conditions around you change, but the conditions within you start to change, so you respond differently to the conditions around you. So you can reach the things that are important to you in your life. If you have questions, if I can help, feel free to give me a call. I can elaborate more if I've left any questions, or feel free to write. But you have it in a great capacity.
Okay. Can you talk about the importance of breathing while Cellercising, please? They have a family member who insists on breathing through their nose, but was wondering if you could explain why it's so important to breathe through your mouth.
Okay. You can breathe through your nose, but if you're doing something strenuous and you're doing it as an exercise, there's nothing wrong with breathing out through your mouth. This is it's a little literal exercise, so it's not a meditation. That being said, there are a number of people that will get into a mode, and they're not doing it real strenuously, but they're just breathing through their nose. I'll do that often too. But if I'm working hard, I breathe out because I want to work my lungs too. I want to work the bronchial tubes. Then I'm breathing. And you'll get a rhythm so that you can keep going and keep breathing, and you're making sure you're getting enough oxygen into the bloodstream so you can sustain that activity for a longer period of time. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay. Will Cellercising help with any scar tissue in your stomach? I know that the twisting moves are good for digestion on the Cellerciser, but I wanted to know if Cellercising would also have an impact of breaking up scar tissue in the organs as well.
Well, that's soft tissue, and soft tissue can heal often better than scars that are exposed to outside. We don't have a lot of research on that. What I do know is that movement helps to loosen up tissue. It helps to stimulate increased circulation, reduce inflammation. And as we increase circulation, we can promote the healing process. So that would be one to ask your doctor or health practitioner. But we just don't have any information on it. But thank you for asking, and let me know how it goes.
Okay, so I think we're done with the questions, but the last one is going to lead into what you're going to do with people. They want to know how to effectively do those arm exercises and shoulder exercises. So
all right.
I'm going to let you have.
Okay, guys, get on your Cellerciser because we're going to do this, and it's really simple, but you're going to feel it, and it's really effective. And many of you have already been doing it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So here, I'll give you that little guy.
Thank you.
Thanks. So what we're going to do, and this is just, we're going to be working the front of the arm here and the back of the arm here. So we're going to go ahead and do an arm curl, and you can just go along with me if you'd like. But I'm going to count in 1, 2, 3, 4 up and 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And so this is what I do. And this is the only really exercise I get for my arms. But they're fine. I don't need to bulk up or get really big. I just need to be strong. And what's neat about Cellercising is that the stronger you get, the more you put into your own routine So it just continues to perpetuate itself, but without tearing down. So you're not hurting ligaments and tendons. But you get movement, and I like a full range of motion rather than just holding it. I like to move up and down. Now, the moving up and down on a Cellerciser is also creating a full range of motion on the cell membranes and tissue. But I like being able to just have that movement up and down so you don't become strong in one position as much. But it goes just like this. So let's get started. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. We're going to go to 4, 25, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. Now you need to be pushing down and pulling up at the same time so you can feel that resistance. 7, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. You can even hold your arms out some, pulling in and pushing out at the same time. 10, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4, 13, 2, 3, 4, 13, 2, 3, 4, 14, 2. You can focus on the back of the arm as well by focusing more on the pushing down. 15, 2, 3, 4, 15, 2, 3, 4. Anybody feeling it yet? 2, 3, 4. 16, 2, 3, 4. 17, 2, 3, 4. 17, okay, 2. I'm going to show you something else. 4. Put your knees in front over your toes and bend at your knees. 19, 2, 3, 4. 19, 2, 3, 4. Do it while pushing your knees out and trying to keep them over the balls of your feet. 21, 2, 3, 4. 21, 2, 3, 4. 22, 2, 3, 4. 22, 2, 3, 4. 23, 2, 3, 4. 23, 2, 3, 4. I hope some of you are feeling the burn now. 3, 4. 24, 2, 3, 4. 25, 2, 3, 4. And 25, 2, 3, 4. Okay, are there any questions that have come up or anything?
Let me take a look here and
'Cause
see.
That will build and pump up the arms, and there's, they're not going to be bulky, but they're going to be strong, and that's what you want. And that's the one side. I don't know if you want me to do the other side online, or
They're loving it.
They're
so if
okay.
you want to pop
We'll
back
do
up there and you can do it with them,
All right.
they're loving it.
Okay, we're going to do the other 25. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. Press those knees out. 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4, 13, 2, 3, 4, 13, 2, 3, 4, 14, 2, 3, 4, 14, 2, 3, 4, 15, 2, 3, 4, 15, 2, 3, 4, 16, 2, 3, 4, 16, 2, 3, 4, 17, 2, 3, 4, 17, 2, 3, 4, 18, 2, 3, 4. Next week all work. We'll do the same thing for the stomach. 2, 3, 4, 19, 2, 3, 4, 20, 2, 3, 4, 20, 2, 3, 4. 2 weeks. I'll be gone next week. I'm sorry. 3, 4, 21, 2, 3, 4, 22, 2, 3, 4, 22, 2, 3, 4. 3 more. Really work it. 2, 3, 4, 23, 2, 3, 4, 24, 2, 3, 4, 24, 2, 3, 4, 25, 2, 3, 4, 25, 2, 3, 4. Now stand there and just wiggle those arms a little bit so you don't have any lactic acid or soreness. And with that, as far as I'm concerned, you don't need to lift weights. It pumps the arms. It makes them bigger. It makes them stronger. It protects the ligaments and tendons. And the entire body was still getting a benefit, not just your arms. Thank you for sharing your time with us tonight. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for being an inspiration to all those online. I want to encourage you, please, to continue to share your personal experiences on our community chat room. And we know that we're not doctors, we're not prescribing, so if you have a health condition or issue, you're welcome to share it. But understand, we can't give medical advice. What we can do is share some ideas that you can share with your doctor or health practitioner. Thanks again. I'll be gone next week. Actually, going on a vacation. I'll be back east. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. So thank you very much. Blessings.